So as you can probably already tell, I got a haircut recently. I got a haircut a couple weeks ago, and yeah, decided to go and chop off all my bangs, as you can see. This is not my first time having straight bangs. I've had straight bangs before, but this time around, the lady, my hairstylist, when she cut my hair, didn't do as good of a job as she normally does. Like right now, I normally always have a ton of layers, but the thing is, the way she cut it this time, it's like a bunch of layers and then like missing a whole bunch of layers, so it's just long. So I feel like I just have a giant mullet. Whereas before, it was like layers, it kind of like blended nicely throughout my hair, you know what I mean? So anyway, she didn't do as good of a job this time, and it wasn't something like, oh, she chopped off all my hair and it's unfixable, but it's more like, oh, it's not perfect, I can live with it, you know what I mean? Anyway, so like my bangs, like some parts are just really choppy and just not as good as normal. The point of this video is that I wanted to kind of talk to you girls about what kind of things to consider if you're thinking about cutting your bangs straight, and what things that maybe would help you out if you did end up getting your bangs straight and you end up hating it, you know what I mean? So one of those kind of situations, kind of like how I am right now. For the girls that are considering cutting their bangs straight, my best kind of advice I can give you is make sure that you're willing to accept the worst, like, you know what I mean, the fact that when you get a cut, the person may mess up, or maybe you just don't look great at rocking straight bangs, you know, you just gotta be able to admit that and make sure you can accept that. So before you cut your bangs, I feel like you guys should have that kind of commitment and be ready to do what you have to do if you end up not loving it as you think you might have. And otherwise, another thing I would recommend too is start off with like side bangs first. Don't go straight, like don't like go from having no bangs to straight bangs. I would recommend getting some side swept bangs, and then maybe shorter, and then, you know, some people just get like a tad bit of side swept bangs. I would say then go for a big chunk of side swept bangs. So kind of move in baby steps to get there, you know what I mean? Don't go crazy dramatic. That's the way I would recommend it anyway if you want to play it the safe route, but that's just me. And this is also for the girls that are still considering it. Make sure you realize that there are some things you have to do with bangs. They're not easy. You don't wake up and they just look perfect. Sorry, my camera totally cut off on me. Okay, so the bangs, they're a big commitment. I mean, you don't wake up and your bangs don't just look perfect. It's like the rest of your hair. If you wake up with bedhead, your bangs are going to kind of do the same thing. They're going to go crazy. So these are some tips and tricks, and this is how I maintain keeping my bangs straight, or what I do on the days where I don't feel like styling my bangs. So your best friend is going to be a comb. You're going to want a basic comb, and what I do when I feel like actually having straight bangs is I take my comb, dip it in water, and I brush through my comb, and then eventually it'll dry, and that way it's not crazy looking like bedhead, you know what I mean, because my hair dries straight. Now for the girls that maybe don't have the same situation, I would still recommend combing it down, letting your hair dry naturally the way it is, and then you gotta take a flat iron to it and, you know, kind of pull your bangs straight. Now, as your bangs kind of grow out, they're gonna get in your face. Like for example, like mine have kind of a bit of volume right now. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a bit of volume in my bangs because when I straighten my bangs, I actually curve it a little bit so it picks up. That way, while your bangs are growing out, they're not all in your face, because otherwise, if I actually push my bangs down, they do completely cover my eyes, but because I kind of curl it upwards, it lifts it up a little, like a half an inch, so I can actually see through my bangs. I don't prefer the bangs that are like super high like that. I don't like those kind of bangs. I feel like it doesn't look as cute. So this is kind of like actually the ideal length that I would want my bangs to be. So I like to curl my bangs to that certain area that I like it to sit on my eyes, and then I'm happy with it. So what I kind of do is I take like my flat iron, and then it's kind of still warm, and then I grab my bangs, and then I kind of curl them inwards like that, and then they do this kind of a bouncy thing, you know? So that's what I do to my bangs when I do feel like having my bangs straight. Now, for the rest of us, if you're going to be growing it out, you end up hating them because the person cuts them completely horrid, what you want to do, your best friend is going to be these guys, like little lobster claw clips. Can be your best friend. And bobby pins. Bobby pins are, whenever I have bangs, these are you know how normally a lot of girls will wear scrunchies on their arms? I have a scrunchie and at least 2 bobby pins on the scrunchie. Like, that's my staple. That's like a part of my lifestyle. Every single day I have one of those on me. A scrunchie and 2 bobby pins attached to it. That's me. Story of my life. So these guys are going to be your best friends because they're what keeps your bangs out of your face. So normally, like, when I go to work and things like that, I don't like having my bangs in my face. So I actually clip it all up like this. I actually like to put it on the side like that. Just grab all of my bangs. So there's all my bangs. And then I take one of these guys, the little clips, and I just clip my bangs in place. This is the easiest way to kind of get your bangs out of your face. I know it's not like the cutest thing. It's kind of, you know, some people might think it's obnoxious to have this big hair clip there, but honestly, it's what get your bangs out of your face, and that took me a second, and I can literally do this without a mirror, you know what I mean? So do what you gotta do if you need to grow your hair out. It's what you gotta deal with if you have bangs that are growing out, okay? The next thing are the bobby pins. Now, what I like to do is grab my bangs and do the same thing. I kind of take it to the side and I twist them a little bit backwards. So there's a little bit of a twist there. And then I take a bobby pin. Let's see if I can get this in camera. Put the bobby pin in there. Grab another one. And then bobby pin on the other side. So make a little bit of an X, and this is really secure. Whenever I clip my bangs up like this, it'll stay like that literally all day. Whereas this one, sometimes if I move around a lot, it will come loose, and then I'll just have to fix it again. But it literally takes like a second, so it doesn't take long. So this is also another thing that I would highly recommend. I like to put mine on the side. Maybe some folks like to make, like, you know, a poof, kind of like towards just the back of their head. Like, you know, like one of these, to get their bangs out of their face. But as you can see right now, because my bangs are still so short, that when I try to make the poof in the back, my bangs pop forward. See that? So that gets annoying. So that's why I just like to take the shortcut and go to the side, and that's enough to hold my bangs back. So that brings me on another note. If you're going to get your bangs cut, make sure that they don't cut them too short. Make sure that you tell them to start, you know, longer and then move up as you say, oh, I'd like it shorter, oh, I'd like it shorter, you know what I mean? Because if they cut it too short, there's going to be a point where you can't even put it on the side like this. My lady, she actually messed mine up, and some of my hairs were popping out like this because they were too short, and it was super annoying. But now that it's long enough now, so because my hair grows really fast, and I am able to clip all of it back on the side. So yeah, that's how my bangs work. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's only my few little tidbits about what I would recommend for girls that are thinking about getting straight bangs or thinking about what they need to do to grow out their straight bangs if you're sick of your bangs. But yeah, I guess that's really about it that I can think of. Oh, another tip too is, for me anyway, and I'll see if I can include a video, but whenever I do put my bangs out straight, oh, you see how this side's longer? It pisses me. Okay, anyway, so when I do put my bangs down, I like to have volume on my head. Now, not so much the sides, because I feel like when I put volume on the side, it makes me look like I have an egg head. Like, I don't know. So I like to have volume in the back instead. So what I do is I take, kind of what I do with my bangs, I take a bunch of my hair in the back, I grab it, and then I kind of curl it backwards, and I kind of build that volume in the back. So that's what I like to do there. If you really are thinking of doing your bangs straight, make sure you're willing to commit at least, I'd say 15-20 minutes, in addition to how long it takes you already to get ready in the morning to get your bangs ready, because sometimes it literally takes me just a matter of wetting a comb and brushing it through, and then some days my hair is really persistent, and even though I comb it down, I can still see it like curling the other way, you know? So just make sure you're willing to commit some time in your bangs, otherwise you might be a very unhappy little girl, okay? Or like me. And I don't know, I'm dealing with that. It's not too bad. I had straight bangs before, and it's not too awful, but like I said, I've had it before, so I've dealt with it, and it made me kind of go back to realizing what I needed to do to kind of deal with the straight bangs, you know what I mean? So I really hope this video helps any of you girls who are thinking about cutting your hair, cutting your bangs anyway. If you guys have any other questions at all, feel free to leave a comment. Please subscribe, and yeah, why not? Thumbs up the video, please. Bye, guys.